Hi guys. So let's talk about really how and where do we meet our spouses or our partners? Because some people really want to know where they should go to find that perfect partner, but they just don't know where to go. They don't have the information. So let's discuss that. Let's find out together how and where we should look to find these perfect or ideal partners that we're all looking for, right? So, from the research that I've gathered, I have learned that you need to first look at the zodiac sign of the seventh house to your birth chart. Okay, this is your birth chart. And then you also need to look at your moon chart. And then you're also looking at the seventh house. Okay, so let's get into more details. Let's go. Let's talk about it, guys, because, okay, if we are looking at the moon chart, okay, the moon chart, your seventh house there will tell you basically how you're meeting your partner, how you're meeting your spouse. So these are like the circumstances that are indicating how you're meeting this person, okay? And now if you look at your birth chart, your natal chart, looking at the seventh house, of course, because that's always your partner, you will find that this part is telling you exactly where you should go, like physically. Because remember that the birth chart, like your D1 chart, is telling you about your physical experiences, okay? And the moon chart is telling you about your emotional and your sentimental experiences, okay? So that is why the seventh house of the moon chart will tell you how you're meeting this person, what type of circumstances and yes, under which circumstances you're meeting this person. And then your D1 chart is your ascendant chart, is going to tell us where you should take your physical body or what you should do with your physical body to get you closer to meeting this partner of yours, okay? If we are looking now at the D9 chart, okay, which we will do separately, we have to do the seventh house of the D9 chart separately, because in that video we will be looking at who is your ideal partner, who is your desired partner according to your according to who you are really, okay? So that's a separate one. For now we're looking at where and how you're meeting the person, and then on the next podcast we're going to look at who is this person that you're meeting, and or that you want to meet, or that you ought to meet, or that you are destined to meet, or that is your ideal person, well, in terms of your dreams. All right, so let's wind back now to the birth chart. So we're looking at the seventh house. We must look at the energy. What is the energy? The energy is the zodiac sign that is describing your seventh house. Okay, what is the seventh house about? Seventh house is all about, of the ascendant chart, is all about your partner, other people, that are always in a good I don't know, like that always have the opportunity to be your partner, whether it's a business partner or it's marriage partner or love interest. Okay, that's the seventh house. So these are the people who also meet here, the professionals that are working around the subjects of commitment, such as lawyers, such as business negotiators. We also meet these types of people here. Okay, because the seventh house also represents our business places, our marketplace, and our open competition or enemies. When you divorce your spouse, it can become your enemy, like your open enemy. That they are your enemy because maybe you broke up in a bad manner. So yeah, that's why the seventh house is also about open enemies. Now, okay, fine. We know the zodiac sign. We need to know who is the ruler of this zodiac sign, describing our seventh house. Why? If we do know, we have to follow this ruler and see where they have gone to. Which house have they gone to? And are they happy there? Or are they welcomed there? Or what is going on? We need to know. Because if we do this process, then we're able to determine where we should go to meet our spouse or our ideal partner. And number two, we will also know if maybe it will be the meeting will be under happy circumstances or would be under stressful circumstances. Okay, now let's get into more details. Let's talk about it, guys. Okay, so let's start with saying this seventh house is our Leo, is in Leo. So this is a Leo house. This is a Leo seventh house, okay? And if it's a Leo seventh house, that means you are an Aquarius ascendant, okay? So this is a Leo house, and it is owned by Sun. Okay, Sun is the ruler of the Leo zodiac sign. Okay, so this means that you will meet your partner, or you have to go to places such as government buildings, government institutions, castles, maybe you on vacation and then you can go to visit castles. Maybe that's where you meet this person. You have to attend royal events, or even like you could meet even your partner in a place with a name like royal, like with the name, maybe there's a royal hotel. So even the name could indicate where you're meeting this partner, as long as it's related to royalty. Okay. Your father or fatherly figures in your life will be able to also have an influence, because that's what Sun is. Sun represents our father or our fatherly figures in our lives. Okay, so your father could be your your connect. Your father could be your channel, or fatherly figures in your life could be your channel to meeting your babe. So yeah, royal events, government people, government buildings, government events, government situations, castles, royal situations, royal events, like just like, you know, things of the really, really highest status. That's where you're meeting your babe. Okay. And this babe of yours, if we're taking in terms of description, we will have to go to the D9 chart, because this is where we're going to find who is this person exactly. Okay, so that's the next podcast, so please go to that next podcast to find the exact description of your babe. Right, now let's move on to say the seventh house is in Cancer. Okay, if this seventh house is in Cancer, that means that it is ruled by Moon. Okay, and if it's ruled by Moon, it means that your ascendant is Capricorn, right? So you are going to meet your babe um, through your mother, possibly, because Moon rules the mother, okay? Or you're going to be connected by motherly figures in your life, all right? You can also meet your babe at home or in a homely environment. Okay, this is where your babe is gonna be. You can also meet your babe in a nurturing situation, you know, like a nurse, even a nursery school, because that's where there's nurturing being given. So such places, you know, that's where you could meet your babe. You know, every other place that is like so warm and so nurturing, and so even like at a maternity ward or maternity hospital or maternity house, you could meet this babe of yours, because that's where, you know, nurturing is being given. And you know, Moon is also concerned about liquid products, so maybe where there's like milk being sold like at a dairy shop, that's where you could meet your babe, you know, places like this basically. And okay, so now we have to move on. Oh no, but what I'm also forgetting with the Moon is that this place of your meeting with your babe could also be um, a restaurant that sells like crabs, you know, things that are representing the Cancer zodiac sign. Okay, now let's say that your seventh house is in Aries or Scorpio, and that means that you are either a Libra ascendant, or you are a Taurus ascendant. Okay, so basically your ruler is Mars. Okay, and Mars here would indicate that you could meet your babe or your partner through your brothers, okay? Or through your brotherly figures, or maybe your male friends, yes. And you know what? The circumstances that you could meet this person under include like sports events, war zones. Yeah, your partner could be at competitions. Maybe that's where you need to go, like right now. You could also go to the gym. Yeah, for sure, because that's where a lot of physical action is happening. You could meet your partner at sexual houses, or those events where people just go and have sex like without strings attached, like those type of places. You could meet even like a prostitution house, for sure. You could meet your partner also at a surgery department, or places where there are accidents, that have, maybe you hit someone's car or they hit your car, and when you get out of the car, you're like, oh my gosh, this is my man. Oh my gosh, this is my lady, And you could meet your partner like while doing outdoor activities like hiking, um, doing those type of things, because that's Mars, that's action based Mars. And at the funeral, of course, because Mars rules the eighth house naturally, so that's death. And at the funeral as well, you could meet your partner. Okay, so now let's move on to, let's say your seventh house is in Virgo or it's in Gemini. Okay, meaning that you are either a Pisces ascendant or you are a Sagittarius ascendant. Okay, you are going to meet your partner in all Mercury related places because Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. Okay, so you're going to meet your partner when you are going for travels, like at the maybe in a train, or maybe in a taxi, like or maybe whilst you're taking a flight and you're sitting right behind your lover. You could also meet your babe through social media because Mercury is all about communication. Okay, and with social media, we have dating websites today. We also have Facebook, Twitter. This is where you're going to meet your partner for life. You could also meet your partner at work because that's a Virgo place. So you could meet your partner at work. And not through your profession, but like just at work. So it could be like work related to services, work related to caring, When we talk about profession, we're looking at the 10th house, which is, ruled by, normally by Capricorn. So now we're talking Virgo energy. Virgo energy is all about service and is all about routine work, okay? Now, you could also meet your partner, of course, through your sisters or sisterly figures because Mercury represents sisters. Yeah, guys. And you could also meet your partner through your friends because that's what Mercury also represents. You could also meet your partner, your lover, your babe through your aunts. Okay, because Mercury represents our aunts as well. So, just, look at that radar, look at these people and see whom you could, you could connect through. And because Mercury is also about intelligence and like education, you could meet this person through study related projects, you know what I mean? But not at school, but like through study related projects, like intellectual projects, or where you have to analyze stuff, and bada boom, you fall on the feet of your partner. Okay, so you guys look out for these type of signs. And yeah, let's move on to Venus. Now Venus rules Taurus and Libra. So that means that your seventh house is in Taurus, your seventh house or is in Libra, and your ascendant is either Aries, or your ascendant is Scorpio. Yes. So, guys, Venus is really like about pleasure, about beauty, about entertainment, social events. Okay. So, if you have Taurus or Libra in your seventh house, this is where you need to go. You need to go to social events a lot to meet your partner. Yes, I know you. I know that you are a Scorpio ascendant and maybe you don't like to meet people because Scorpio ascendants tend to be very introverted. But you need to go out there to social events because this is where your babe is. Okay. Well, if you are an Aries zodiac, if you're an Aries ascendant, you're already going out there. Okay, for sure, you're going to meet your babe in these social events. You can also go to the mall, because that's where people are selling fashion. And Venice is all about fashion. So you could meet, your babe at a fashion store. You could also meet your babe at the salon or at the beauty parlor. You could meet your babe at the club, at the nightclub. Yeah, because that's a Venice place. So this is where you could meet your babe. You could meet your babe at the museum because that's where art is, and Venice is the goddess of art. You could also meet your babe at a restaurant, but like a fine dining restaurant, okay? Because Venice is not going to support like a McDonald's type of situation. Venice likes the fine dining restaurant. So this is where you could meet your babe, okay? And because Venus represents women, it means that your lover could be introduced to you by a woman in your life or a woman that you know. So look out for these signs, you guys, okay? And now, let's say that your seventh house is in Capricorn or is in Aquarius, okay? That means that you are a Leo ascendant or you are a Cancer ascendant. Okay, that's what it means here. So this means that the ruler of your seventh house, of this seventh house, is Saturn. Okay. So where you're going to find this partner, you're going to find this partner in traditional places or traditional events. You could find this partner in cultural events where there's like cultural events happening. That's where you need to go. You need to go to authority places or authoritative places, because that's where your babe could be, because your babe is an authority figure. Okay. Or you could meet your babe through an authority figure, an authoritative figure in your life. Yeah, like a boss. Yeah, for sure. You could also meet your lover, your babe, through step family, like through your step father, your stepmom, just any step family member could introduce you to your lover, because Saturn represents step families. Okay, so don't close those doors because they could be introducing you to your partner. Now, because Saturn is all about isolation and also tends to favor spirituality, you could also find your partner in ashrams, where you are praying and doing spiritual dedications. Okay, you could find your Saturn here. So basically, just in a disciplined, organized environment, that's where your partner could be. And you're like the sun, like you could meet your partner in political events, like of the government. Now let's go to Jupiter. Okay, so Jupiter here would indicate that your seventh house is in Sagittarius, or your seventh house is in Pisces, meaning that your ascendant is Virgo or your ascendant is Gemini. Okay, so Jupiter being the ruler of Sagittarius and the ruler of Pisces, it means that you could find your partner in places like church. You could find your partner at the university. You could find your places in teaching or preaching places. You could find your partner definitely while you're traveling, okay? Because Jupiter really cares about travels. And these would be like foreign travels. Do not run away from foreigners, because that's where your partner's lineage is coming from, okay? You ought to keep your eyes open when people are talking about foreign things, foreign lands. You'd be like, maybe that's my partner. Okay, so you could meet your partner obviously through your teachers, through your mentors, through your spiritual gurus, your counselors. You could definitely meet your partner through your husband. Yes, let's say you're already married. Your first husband could be the link to your next partner, for sure, because Jupiter represents husbands. So, which is something I forgot to say for the Venus part, because for Venus as well, you could meet your partner through your wife. You guys. Okay, so now let's move to Rahu. Okay, basically Rahu co-rules the 11th house of Aquarius. Okay, so if this is an Aquarius house, you also need to look at where Rahu has gone to, because Rahu represents that you could meet your partner while you partying and clubbing like at the nightclub. You could meet your partner through foreign connections, or your partner is a foreigner. You could meet your partner you know an event at the events where there's like bad behavior happening, like gang societies, you know, like casinos where people are gambling. You could meet your partner at a magician show, or a magician concert, because that's what Rahu represents. Rahu, that would be the smoke of Rahu. Okay, so you guys need to like really open your I don't know, like your mind to such places, because that's where your partner could be. And okay, let's move to Ketu. Let's say now this is again a Scorpio house, because Ketu co-rules Scorpio. Okay, so that means you are a Capricorn ascendant. Okay, no, not a Capricorn ascendant, a Taurus ascendant. Okay, so you need to go to places such as like worshipping buildings where people worship. You could also go to where there's like celebrations of ancestors or dedications to ancestors, because that's what Ketu is about. You need to go to just places that are giving off vibes, you know, like unusual places, because that's where your baby is, like isolated places, but they should be like so weird. Yeah, that's where your babe could be, because Ketu brings to us weird and isolated experiences. Okay, like just separated events from our lives. That's what Ketu does. Okay, you could also meet get your friend. Pardon. You could meet your partner through your sun, because Ketu represents suns. Okay, so maybe your son knows, maybe they are teacher, or maybe they know a lady at the bank, and you could meet your partner through your son, you know, and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's my babe. Now let's yeah, guys, that's it. What we're gonna do now is for the next part, we're going to obviously focus on the planets now that are in the seventh house, and how they would describe your babe, how they would describe the qualities of your babe. And so that's another podcast. And guys, I forgot to mention something actually. What did I forget? I wanted to say. Oh, I forgot now. All right. Anyway, I forgot, guys. So let's chat again. Let's chat soon, okay? À tout de suite.